This is Authors in Focus.
Hi, I'm James Reed, fantasy author publishing under JMD Reed. Jewels of Illumination Books 1 through 3 box set is out. Oban is a broken man who just might find redemption guarding a scholar from bandits, a criminal syndicate, and a dark necromancer. Avina is a woman haunted by guilt who has to learn if she can trust Oban. Together, they can break free of their past or be lost. You can buy or borrow Jewels of Illuminations Book 1 through 3 from Amazon. Today, I'm joined by Laura Tolomei. She is the author of the erotic romance Deadly Karma. How are you doing today, Laura?
Oh, today I'm doing great. I'm recovering after a cornea transplant, and slowly but surely I'm recovering my eyesight and a great physical condition, let's say.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Your accent reminds me a lot of my great Noni's accent. You know, she came over. Yeah, she came over from Italy when she was a little girl.
Oh, well, actually, I learned English when I was a little girl. I was 5, and my parents went to live in Africa. We lived in Nigeria for 5 years, and that's where I learned my English, or at least I started to learn English. And then I went to the American school. I went to high school, and that's in the southern in Georgia. So then the accent got kind of twisted around, because in Africa it's more like an English accent, a British accent. Okay. Then when you go to Georgia, it's just a fucked up accent. So it's kind of crossed lines between various places. And but I'm glad I remind you of someone that you knew.
Yeah. So are you a cat person or a dog person, Laura?
Cat. I'm a cat person. I have 4 cats.
Okay.
2 males and 2 females, and I just adore them. And they practically rule the house. And you know how it is with cats. They just occupy all your space, and it's all theirs. Yeah. And you're there, you just pay the mortgage.
Yeah. So, how long have you wanted to be a writer, Laura?
Well, I'm not really sure. I know I've been writing since I was in high school, and I really liked it. But it wasn't, it wasn't I didn't do it for like a profession, or I didn't think of it as a profession, and I wasn't even doing it like as often as a writer should. I started just writing small pieces, and then a lengthier one, but I didn't. But it wasn't a continuous thing, because then I had, to study, and I went to work, and I had a regular job. I worked for the Italian Trade Commission, which is, helping Italian companies, have a better opportunity in the world trade. And so it wasn't until I was 40 or something like that I started thinking of writing as a profession, as something I wanted to do on a more regular basis. And that's when I started actually writing and publishing a series of books, more than 30 at the moment. And and really enjoying it, really enjoying, the creation part of it, the creative effort, and thinking of a story, not just writing it, but thinking of a story. Also because, I've been an avid reader all my life, but I kind of got fed up with the way the books, the other writers ended their stories. It's like I wanted to change it. It's like it didn't feel right. So I wanted to do it my own way. And that's when I really started getting into writing. And now it's more than 10 years. And I think I've, made a name for myself, although a little one, of course. I'm not anything big but I really enjoy it. And I've had also several feedbacks from my readers that they enjoy it too. So that's why I keep writing.
Yeah, hearing back from your readers is always very rewarding.
Yes. It's definitely, and it's important because, of course, every writer wants to be read. That's the point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not egotistical to say that, everybody should read me or everybody should know me. But but at least to know that someone is following you and someone is appreciating what the type of writing I'm doing. Well, that's of course that gives you that extra kick to keep going. Otherwise, you probably just stop.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I've known quite a few authors that just like dropped off the social media stuff and just stopped publishing because they got discouraged.
Yes, exactly. Even if writing should be a personal thing, because it actually is a personal thing because you tell a story, you tell something of yourself anyway in every story, and it's something that often you just have to do in order to to get it out there. It's like I started writing again with a very personal story of mine, and it's something that I just had to say. I mean, I wasn't saying it to anybody in particular, but I just had to put it down in order for the experience to work out the experience for myself, not for the others. Um, but of course, when you see that you work out the experience, you enjoy doing it, and somebody else somewhere else enjoys reading it, then that's the perfect combination.
Yeah, yes it is. Yes it is. So let's talk about your book. Your book, Deadly Karma. It's an erotic romance, yes?
Yes, yes. I've decided to specialize in erotica because I think you know the erotica genre is where actually you get to explore people and their personality in a way you can't do anywhere else with any other genre. Because when you get down to that particular side of a person, you say it all about that person. It's like after that there are no more secrets to the person. Um,
Yeah, no, I got you. You're exposing like kind of what they keep most hidden about themselves.
yes, exactly. And from there on, you can learn about a person, how he or she is, and how he or she will react to certain emotions, to certain way of doing things. Personal relationships are the basis of our lives, and that's where we build our lives, and that's often where society tries to change us or to have a say in it because too much freedom and they think the world is going into chaos or they just want to control the way you act. There's all this moral bigotism around where they say conventional families are the only value possible, when in fact it's just often just two people who love each other, whatever their gender, and they have an offspring. However, they have the offspring, and they love the offspring, and that makes a tight bond that today is often at risk.
Yeah.
So that's why I've chosen the genre, so I can explore the conventional way of looking at the way the character reacts to the conventional way society wants you to live, and often tries to overcome it or find a different way, an alternative way. I'm not saying a better way. I'm just saying a different way. And in that different way, you can find your own dimension, whatever it is that makes you really happy and have a constructive relationship with another human being, one or two or three or however many you like. I mean, this is my personal belief, of course. Okay, so that's why I chose erotica as a genre, so I can explore these feelings and I can uncover what I think is not right with society today. Okay. Now, to get back to your question, which I forgot.
We were going to talk about Deadly Karma and what it's actually about.
Deadly Karma.
Like who the characters are and all that.
Yeah, Deadly Karma is a little bit like a strange tale, let's say, because it starts at a Halloween party in our times, and with this girl Eunice, who has a lot of self-confidence issues, and she's a bit not like the regular. She's a bit off scale, let's say, in her personal appearance. So she's not. She's short. She's a bit fat, and so she feels like she's not good enough for anybody. And at this Halloween party, she meets Adrian, and they hit it off, and she has a great time, and then they go back. He rents a hotel room, but so they spend the night together, but in the morning she's dead, and that's where it kicks off.
Oh wow!
But then but then the story will take you also in the past, in the 1800s, and and that's where Eunice's friend Yvette, who's part of a club, of a BDSM club in in New Orleans, she'll uncover the whole story and what really happened to Adrian and to Eunice. Okay.
That's definitely wasn't the direction I thought the story was
going. No, and in the story you also get to see a little bit of a BDSM scene. So how to live the life of inside a BDSM club, and so people who read it, also have to be into the spirits of BDSM, because not everybody, of course, is familiar or approves of the BDSM.
True. Okay. So, are there any challenges that you find in writing erotic romance?
Challenges?
Yeah.
Well, the main challenge often is to write a different scene because there's so much you can do in bed. But sometimes you get stuck in the same things, and they get, of course, boring. If you are a reader of my books, I try to give different different points of views, or different or create different kind of scenes. because after all, what you do in bed is basically one thing, and to spice it up with various positions or things like that. That's the main challenge at times. Not so much the story; it's really to make it a bit, different in the various parts. Otherwise, you'd be reading the same thing over and over.
Yeah, I get that. So when it comes to your plotting, are you like a pantser? Do you just kind of make it up as you go, or do you like plot out like the story of your books?
No, I plan it as I go.
Okay.
Yes, I just read a beautiful book by a Japanese author, and it's called The Memory Police. And in this book, the protagonist is a writer. And the beautiful thing it said, it's like, it said, when she's unsure about where her writing is going, her editor tells her, look, your writing is in your hands. So as long as you just write, the story will come. And it was so beautiful, the paragon, because often I've done that. I just sat down at the keyboard and wrote, without any real thought about where I was going, or without any planning about what my characters were about or where they were going. You see?
Yeah, no, I see.
Yeah, it was incredible reading that thing, because I said, hey, this is exactly how I do it. The writing is in the hands.
Yeah, I do like usually bare bones outlines, and then it gets expanded upon greatly. And sometimes, I get better ideas that are different than my outline, and I just go with them. I don't, generally, I feel like I have better instincts about what the story needs when I'm actually writing it than I can when I'm plotting it. As I'm kind of more divorced from it when I'm just thinking, when I'm outlining, whereas when I'm writing it, of course, I'm actively, creating it and experiencing the problems and pitfalls that I might not have anticipated and have to work around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I totally get.
So, what advice would you offer any newer aspiring authors?
Well, I tell them to be patient, really patient, because when it's true today, the publishing industry is so very different than it was 10 or 15 years ago. And now you can self-publish yourself on Amazon or any other platform. There are lots of them. It's not just Amazon anymore. And but like we said it earlier, you'd like to have a feedback, and this kind of feedback doesn't just come. I mean, it doesn't happen that you just write, you put it out there, and somebody reads it. No, it's not like that. You'd often have to promo it, go to Facebook, go Twitter, go here, go there, and tell everybody, look, there's my book. And even if you get people interested, or at least they start knowing you, it doesn't mean that they'll read you. And even if they read you, doesn't mean that they'll send you a feedback. So you really don't know, what's happening with your writing. And you just got to be real patient. Or if you want to take the traditional way and try and publish, with an editor, even there, you start sending your stuff, and it's not like they'll reply in a day or two. No, sometimes it takes months.
If they even reply.
If they even reply. Well, actually, I have to say, American or English editors, they do eventually reply. In Italy, the publishing industry is really terrible, because there you really don't know. You just send the stuff in a black hole that might swallow it, might never get it back to you. It just disappears.
I remember when I was doing the query process, and some of them never did get back to me, but a lot did. And it was always to say no. And it was always to say no, but.
Yeah, but at least they're nice and they say, okay, thank you, we're not interested. And that's it, But when you write and nobody replies, then you start thinking, did they receive it? They're not interested.
I had one guy that sent a form letter back that, like, right after I emailed and said, if you don't hear from me in 3 months, just assume I passed. That was it. I was like, oh, that's heartening.
But I also received a lot of rejections, especially at the beginning. But one of the most wonderful experiences that I still recall and that will stay with me forever, actually, is a rejection. But the publisher was so enthralled with the story. They said we couldn't stop reading it. I mean, unfortunately we can't publish something as extreme as this because it was a bit extreme. But all of us here at the publishing house read it. We were very, very interested. We loved it. And we wish we could publish it, but it's just not in our line of works. And it was the best rejection I ever received because you could see how sorry they were that they couldn't publish it. And they wish they could,
Yeah.
So, for as an aspiring author, you just gotta have patience and, think, always believe in yourself no matter what, because you can't let them put you down or let you lose hope that because you start believing your stuff isn't good. When often it isn't, and it's just the publishers that they don't read it, or they don't have time to read it, or whatever, or the process. It's not just the right time. You shouldn't have submitted it, whatever, Yeah. So, but you just gotta keep, you just gotta keep believing in yourself, in your stuff, and just have, time to let them see and believe in your stuff. So, I mean, the first book I ever submitted, it took me like a year and a half almost. Yeah, a year and a half to get a publisher to say, yes, we will publish this. You see? So that's what a fellow aspiring authors should be prepared to. Just the advice they gave me was, you just write, submit, and keep writing another thing. And you can't be stuck in the waiting process. Otherwise, you never get out of it, and you'll never write anything else either.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, where can our listeners connect with you on the internet, Laura?
Oh, they can connect me. They can connect to me on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, all the major platforms, social media. I have an account on Instagram too, and but you can see the list, the complete list of my books also on Amazon. If you look for me under the Amazon authors, you'll find all my works, and plus all across the board, I suppose. I also have a website, which is the www.lalagatta.com, and the blog, which is in there.
All right. Well, it was really great talking with you, Laura.
Thank you, James. It was great talking to you, and a big hug to all your audience.
Yeah. But you have yourself a good day.
Thank you. You too.
All right.
Great hearing from you. Yeah.
This has been Authors in Focus. You can find my fantasy novels on Amazon. Follow news of my writing at my blog, jmd-read.com, and follow me on Twitter at jmdread. You can also join my reader group on Facebook, Fantastical Worlds of the Imagination. You can find more episodes of the podcast at fantasy-focus.com or wherever your favorite podcast is hosted.